This is your course summary for I10, Insurance Broking Fundamentals.
If you're taking this as your third book to get your certificate, you're going to be making a good choice because if you're doing broking day to day, there's only 7 chapters to this particular module, so it does look quite small, and a lot of the stuff you will have covered either in LM1 or IF1 as well. So there is a lot of overlap from what you've learned already, which always poses well because you're just kind of making sure that you've got that in your memory and that you're holding on to some of those key kind of principles. So the first kind of few chapters of the book look at the insurance broking market, so the different types of brokers, essentially the role of the broker in meeting the client's needs. So taking them through from getting all of their risk details to negotiating and then placing the risk with underwriters and that whole kind of relationship piece there. It then talks a little bit about some of the other roles that insurance brokers undertake, things like delegated authority schemes, risk management, and so on. Then we start getting into the kind of the legal and regulatory part in the middle of the chapter. So we go again over the law of agency, which you will have done very much by now, certainly if you've done those modules that I just mentioned. And then we start to get into the very specific regulations from an FCA perspective for the broking world, including things like IDD, the Insurance Distribution Directive, and CAS, the Client Asset Sourcebook, about how brokers are to be holding client money and also how they get paid and remunerated as well. Then the final chapter deals solely with conduct. So what to do in the event of an E&O, an errors and omissions claim, how to deal with complaints, and just making sure the culture at the broking firm is such that regulators would be happy with it.
As Grace mentioned, this is a popular choice for brokers. For obvious reasons, this gives you a good understanding of the role, and it's a popular choice because there is a reasonable amount of duplication within this module too.
In terms of the exam, there are 65 standard multiple choice questions and then 2 case studies. So if you've done LM2, you might be very familiar with these already. They each have 5 questions allocated to these case studies in this kind of the second part of the exam. There are 2 hours to do this particular exam, and it is a 70% pass mark.
The most recent pass rate for I10 was 84%, with 15 credits assigned at CII level.